When we started this, I said, okay, I'm not going to turn this into a prepper podcast. But here we are, 25 episodes in, and we've got a prepper episode.
I've been wrong many times, spoke before I'd seen a lie, but I don't mind being the blame. Just let me get this out for it's too late. Ooh, you think I've learned by now, but I still got a whole lot to say.
Yeah, hit it.
All right.
Let's go.
Woo. This is the Camo Convoy podcast, where we talk all things overland, off-road, and the great outdoors. Tonight, we're covering Vehicle EDC. What is Vehicle EDC? Some personal EDC, the gear that actually matters, and the gear that we think is overrated. So what is your Vehicle EDC, Aaron?
This is the stuff that permanently lives in your vehicle. It's not your camping gear. It's not your trip-specific gear. This is the stuff that you carry around for your daily life. On road trips, or your bad weather, or you're out in the middle of nowhere, your breakdowns. Like, this is stuff that you should have at all times just because you own a vehicle.
Yeah, definitely. And it's going to keep you from feeling helpless over something that might be a simple problem. When we started this, I said, okay, I'm not going to turn this into a prepper podcast. But here we are, 25 episodes in, and we've got a prepper episode. But before we roll into the different segments and kind of categories of a Vehicle EDC, there's one I want to hop into, which is just the top 5 things that I think overlanders forget to keep in their truck. So the first one is a flashlight. Guys, this thing here, all right? This little flashlight on, do you see how weak that is? Okay. I see guys fumbling around camp like, oh, they got your phone in your face.
Trolls.
And here's the thing, you got the flashlight on, but the screen is in your face. You can't see. If I'm working on something, or we're working on something, there's a problem, and like someone comes up to help and they got their phone as the flashlight, I would rather use the moon because you're ticking me off. Just get yourself a flashlight. Number 2, jump packs or jumper cables. I can't tell you how many times, and especially, I'm around construction all the time. There are so many guys that are like, hey, man, you got jumper cables? It's like, guys, they're dirt cheap. What's a pair of jumper cables cost these days? Like $20? Maybe more. I don't know. They're cheap.
Yeah. They're usually fire hazards that cheap, but they do exist.
Yeah. Jump packs are coming down in price. A lot of times you can get yourself a jump pack that has like a 12-volt charger in it. So now you have a battery bank and a jump pack, and kind of get 2 birds stoned with one unit. It's just something that you should really have in whatever you're driving around. I think that's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Number 3, the tire repair kit. What do you like for a tire kit?
Rope.
Yep.
I got a pile of rope plugs with the metal tools. I don't want the plastic ones because I've seen the plastic handles break and the metal rod go in your hand, and like it's you get your med kit out, so you have a flat tire and a med kit. It's not a good situation.
Yeah.
But I just have a big kit. I think I got it at a flea market, to be honest with you, and it's probably one of the nicest ones I've ever come across. Blow molded case, metal tools, tons of ropes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the rope kits too. I will say, like, the glue tread stuff for the sidewalls is really cool. I've been meaning to get a kit like that.
Same.
That teeters more on like an off-road kit. I'm not really sure if you're patching your sidewall if you're commuting to work, but they are really cool. But I too, I like rope plugs, and the official, unofficial sponsor of Camo, Harbor Freight, they have a great rope plug kit. Metal Tools, Mick, whatever. What's their brand?
Yes.
whatever that is. It's great. It's cheap. Works awesome. I have one of them in my tractor tire. It's lived there for 2 years. It's going to live there for 2 more. As long as those tires last, there'll be a rope plug in those tires.
Yep. Yep.
Number 4 is medical. Now, I'm actually going to preface medical with your own personal health. If you're not healthy, get healthy and at least take steps towards being healthy because that's the most important medical prep you can make. But also, your actual medical kit. Now, I had to deploy this today, guys. That's why it's sitting beside me. That's why it's in the house because I had to deploy it. My middle son, long story short here, he decided to take a header into a sharp corner, and we were borderline stitches territory. But, I'm not a doctor, but I'll take a look. We got him bandaged up, steri stripped up, and we'll see tomorrow if we're going to go to the hospital. So I'm pretty sure he's good. But, we've had a full medical episode. Revert back to that for any of the specifics there. But a lot of folks just don't have adequate medical in their vehicle, and you need to do it. It's a no-brainer. Basic first aid should be knowledge for everybody. If you don't have that training, get that training. Reach out if you have any questions, and we can hook you up with how to get that. But I think that's very important.
Absolutely.
Equally important is a fire extinguisher. Now, I commute through the city of Pittsburgh basically every day to get to various job sites throughout the Tri-City area. At least every other week, I see a vehicle fire. It's just, they're cheap, low. One of those things, I say low barrier of entry. Buying a fire extinguisher is pretty cheap. Now, as far as sizing, my personal opinion is the largest fire extinguisher that you can comfortably carry in your vehicle. Now if you drive a sedan, a big 30-pound or 40-pound or whatever, it doesn't make that much sense. But bigger is better. More fire suppression is better. But I still see guys, not even daily driving EDC, but on off-road trips, they don't have an extinguisher. And if you don't have one, get one. There's one actual addition here that I'm going to add as a bonus, and it's probably what's in your head right now. And then that is this guy right here. And that is an OBD2 reader. We've beat this to death, but this is going to get you home. It's going to clear your codes. You're going to find out what's wrong. You're going to be able to fix it, clear it on the road, limp home, whatever it is. These are so cheap these days, guys. You should have one.
Yes, you can get 2 of them for like $7, and I've had this issue. My work truck had a valve train rattling, and it put me into limp mode in Green Ridge, and I drove the shoulder from Green Ridge back to Hagerstown doing 20 mile an hour because it wouldn't do anything more. And if I just had that scanner with me that day, I would have been home on time.
Yeah. Yep. It's easy. Okay, so here's we're gonna get into the prepper world a little bit here. I wasn't gonna throw this one in here, but I thought it's really important. And this is your urban EDC. As overlanders, we love to go back and forth about remote travel. That's what we do, right? But where am I right now? Not remote traveling. Like, I'm at home. Where am I going to go on Monday? Into the city. A lot of us spend a lot of time in cities, through cities, and the risks and the things that you go through in a city vary greatly from a rural area. That's just the reality. Urban environments are going to bring a different set of problems. Something that comes to mind right away is civil unrest and protests. Guys, I don't know if you know this or not, but people aren't really that happy right now. Matter of fact, as I'm talking right now, I am pretty confident that there's actively protests occurring in the cities. They're happening, and you need to do things that protect you and your equipment. Now, obviously, you guys can do whatever the hell you want. But you need to think about the perception that you give off. So Jeep and Toyota people, I'm going to pick on you guys. All right. You guys are like the number one offenders of decorating your trucks like you are in some kind of military parade. Now, God bless America. God bless our troops. Like, I'm right there with you. Okay. You have to understand that you are traveling amongst people that are very, very angry. And those people who are angry do not have an outlet to release the anger that they have, right? So they might not know where your heart is, but you don't want to give them a reason for you to be the outlet of the angers and the frustrations that they have. Whether you might even agree with these people that are protesting. But guys, I don't care if you have your DD 214 or a BMI of 214. All right. I don't think it's wise to decorate your truck in the full out Valhalla. You know what I'm talking about. If you wind up in the center of one of these protests in the city looking like that, you at best got like 17 rounds in the chamber, Chief, and there's about 100 of them around you. It's not going to go well for you.
Yeah.
Don't draw attention to yourself. I think that's really important. It's not fun to think about. Like,
Yes.
It's not sexy, but you need to consider it.
Yeah. I would like to add that this is a great time to not put stickers on your vehicle that advertise your views on anything,
Yeah.
because not everybody likes your views.
Yep.
There's a lot of political things that just you see it on the back of vehicles, and it's like, yeah, that's cool, man. You can make your statement, but like that's also a good way to get a Louisville Slugger through the door. Like,
Absolutely.
just finding the wrong.
You know
person.
what the other one is?
So
the other one is, you guys see this sticker right here? I think you can when I go to full screen. You know what this sticker means? It means free gun in console. Okay. Just don't. Just don't. Listen, I'm right there with you guys listening. Trust me, more so than you. There's belted ammo right there. All right. You know what I'm not doing? Advertising as I'm driving around that I'm that guy. It's not smart. It's not wise.
No.
It's not, you're not impressing. Like, again, you do whatever the hell you want. I really want to be clear on being smart and being the gray man, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But just don't be that guy. It's not going to help you out, especially right now in this climate. All right. Maybe a couple years from now, stuff settles down. I mean, probably not, but like we can hope.
We can hope.
But that's enough of that. There's some other things in the urban environment that are going to be a lot worse than out in the country. If the power goes out in the country, who cares? It's not a big deal. Run your generator.
We start a bonfire.
Yeah. If you're downtown in a Class A city and there's a massive power outage and the street lights go out, and for whatever reason, the lights aren't going on, now we got problems. This affects how you get home. This affects how people act. Have you been around city people? They're crazy. Give them
they don't act normal.
No, give them a reason. And, stuff changes.
Yes. They don't need a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff just changes.
You got traffic gridlocks, infrastructure failures. The one that comes to mind with an infrastructure failure, this was down kind of your neck of the woods a little bit. That ship that hit the bridge in Baltimore.
FSK Bridge.
Yeah.
That's a big problem, dude.
It's still
to this day.
Imagine if you were butted up, ready to go on that bridge when that happened, or God, on that bridge when it happened. You can say, what if, what if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle, what if? But guess what? It happened to those people.
Wasn't ready for that one.
Did you like that? I was just throwing zingers out.
I don't know that I did. Hell of a picture you painted there, Bob Ross. Wasn't any happy trees in that one.
That might just be a long censor beep.
Leave it.
But severe weather events in the city can be way worse actually than in the rural areas. The city of Pittsburgh, I reference this a lot, but Pittsburgh has terrible drainage. Okay, you guys who aren't familiar with the city of Pittsburgh, we have a section of road that we call the bathtub. And when it rains really hard, there's common vernacular that's like, hey, is the bathtub flooded? What that means is there 6 feet of water in the little dip that we all drive through to get across the bridge. Okay. That's just normal for us. All right. These are things that can really affect you and you need to be mindful of because heavy rain out in the country, boo-hoo, the river comes up or it's muddy. You might drown in the city. So it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Um, and then things like that obviously can lead to long delays, traffic gridlocks, being stuck on the highway. So what do we do? Again, guys, you can do whatever you want. I'm not your dad. This is a free-ish country, but our goal is limit the possibility of failures, just like with off-roading. So being the gray man, what does that mean? It means don't be flamboyant. Don't wear flamboyant clothing. Don't look like you're ultra tactical. My go-to when I'm commuting to work is just blue jeans, boots, dark colored jacket. I look like a pipeliner. Now, if you guys overland with me, I look like a British forward observer. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
You are prepared.
It can be goofy, but
It can be.
I'm not out in public like that.
Yeah.
It's important to not be that guy. It's going to go a long way for you. The best defense in any altercations that you're going to get in an urban environment is simply not getting into them. So if you have some crazy inflammatory comment across your chest, right? You think that's smart? Really? Like, you really want to go around fighting people? Really? Do you? I, I don't think, my days of thinking that that's great and me engaging with the people that I disagree with in some sort of violent altercation are long gone. All right. I got sore joints. All right. I'm good. I'm good to go to the gym and then I need nothing until the next time I go. I don't need to be rolling around because people don't like the color of my shirt or my hat. This is as inflammatory as I'll get. Some Ford guy saying that I got a gay Chevy.
And dude, that's where I was getting ready to go with it because I've had this happen to where I'm wearing something that was not offensive to anybody. It's just a company logo. And somebody got real upset about it and like they were ready to throw hands. And like I was in a bad situation. I'm like, I don't know why you're upset, dude, but like I'm sorry, I'm wearing a shirt from the Goodwill. I've got $3.
Yeah.
It's rags. Like I'm blue collar. Like I don't give a shit what it even says, And like this guy's wanting to throw hands. And so even like I have really that threw me into looking at the urban stuff of like what I can do. And that's when I found the gray man stuff. Like I don't know, it was probably 10, 15 years ago. And like 90% of my wardrobe now is either work clothes or non-logo, very, very like I blend into anybody. If you had to give me if you had to give a cop a description of me, you're going to give a description of 100 people.
Yep. Yeah. I'm there with you. Now, like when I wear around the house or the gym or when we're camping, that's a little bit different. But my day to day is,
You know your demographic.
yeah,
You know what you can get away
Yeah.
with,
but my day to day is like I'm not wearing this into the city. I
Same.
don't even wear camo like branded things into the city or for any. I don't wear it to work. It's just
Bad enough I got a license plate on a vehicle. Like
yeah.
I don't want anybody to know my shit.
Yeah,
Like
and it's sad that you need to be that way, but unfortunately, I just think it's smart. The least business that you can be involved in is the best business to be involved in.
Yep.
So there are some
just
rules.
don't go to the city.
Yeah, right.
that's my rule. Don't go to the city.
Amen to that.
You know what? This is a good before we get out of here. Man, it was a long time ago now. It was probably remember when the Baltimore riots broke out?
Oh yeah.
I was gonna go to the aquarium that day.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. We woke up like my wife and I talked about it and we were like, man, we haven't been to the aquarium since our middle school field trips, like
yeah.
we got nothing going on Saturday. Let's go down to the Baltimore Aquarium, right? Walk around the harbor. And we stayed up late watching, we were on Breaking Bad, I think, at that point in time. And we were up late and I woke up at like 9:00 in the morning. She got up like 9:30 and it was like kind of raining. And I'm like, I don't really feel like driving to Baltimore. And she's like, yeah, I don't really either. We'll do it maybe next weekend. And I turned on the TV and they were destroying that place. And had I not turned on the TV, I'd have drove straight into ground zero of
Yeah.
that place.
When my daughter was born, we were driving to and from Children's Hospital during the Rittenhouse riots.
Wow.
Yeah, so I have some light experience with that, and it's not fun. Like 1v1, like I'm maybe even 1v3 of those folk. I'm 1v200. I'm dead. I'm gonna get
Yeah.
ripped limb from limb. I don't care how tough you are. It's a crowd of people. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Don't be identifiable. Don't be seen is the big one, because that stuff's happening, and it's
Don't
happening.
stop moving.
It's not just like, oh, maybe it's going to happen. It's happening as I'm speaking right now,
Mhm.
and probably for the next couple months. If you listen to this episode, it's what is it? March? What is it? March 6th?
Third.
Yeah. Until June, you're probably it's going to be the same song and dance.
At least.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
So there are some useful tips and practical things that you need to take into account when you're in the city. And in no way am I implying that you're, in this ultimate danger and you need to have full kit, SBR in the back seat, level 4 Kevlar's jump pack. You don't need that, right? I know guys that are, but that's not what we're saying. But here's one that I think is really important and nobody does, especially my wife, honey. When your gas tank hits half, you need to start looking for fuel. Just it's on your mind now. I need to make the fuel stop. You need to consider 1/4 of a tank as empty. And if you do that, you're going to be in pretty good shape. You're probably going to be able to get home or get out of Dodge on whatever's in your gas tank. I think that's really important. Also healthy.
It also saves your fuel pump.
Exactly. Yep. Bring a change of clothes. So let's say that we'll use the Baltimore Bridge example. Say you were one of the unlucky bastards that was on that bridge when it got hit. You're not going anywhere. You're probably walking somewhere. And if you're a lady listening to this and you're in high heels, or one of the French people that listens to this, one of the French guys, and you're in high heels too,
I don't think you even have to be French in this country anymore for a man to be wearing high heels.
That's true. That's true. There's lots of Jeeps that get sold every day in this country. So
yeah. And whatever you are, I accept you. Whatever
Yeah.
you do, you Bill. I'm good with it. I'm not upset.
Just saying, you don't want to be hiking.
Guys in high heels.
Yeah, you don't want to be hiking in your high heels, dude. So,
dude,
bring some comfortable clothes, okay? And it's not like I don't think that's a negotiable thing. You need to have something that you can put on and comfortably walk distance in. That's going to be really beneficial to you.
I had a friend explain it as you need to go ahead and purchase your Nike Express ticket, meaning go ahead and get all your stuff so that if you got to walk, it's there.
Yep.
Like have your long distance shoes, good thick socks, or whatever.
Absolutely.
You're going hiking.
Yep. The Lamborghinis are doing a 0 to 60.
Lamborghini. I've never heard that. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Number 3 here, bring a backpack. Now I'm talking like JanSport, DanSport. I'm not saying your Mystery Ranch tacti bag. All right. We're not doing spec ops. I know they're super quality, whatever. But if shit's going down and you need to get out, do you want to look like G.I. Joe or do you want to look like the Todd from accounting?
College kid.
I want to look like Todd. I don't want to. I'm staring at a Badlands 3-day pack right now. It's sick. You know what I'm not going to walk through Pittsburgh in? That. That's for camping. That's not for the city. I have a, what is it? Is it a Hurley? I think it's like a Hurley or some PacSun branded backpack from ages ago that I carry my stuff in. I will say something with a chest strap kind of helps a little bit if you got to walk distances, but ultimately don't make your backpack ruin your whole gray man thing.
I have a frozen backpack. by the way.
Good. I like that. Is it Christoph? That's my homie there.
Uh, it's that plastic shiny stuff, and I think it's got the whole gang on the
Oh,
back
hell
with some
yeah.
sparklies, like the blue sparklies down the side. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a princess. I got my high heels on. Like,
No one's
running from active shooter.
No one's pissing with you in a frozen backpack.
Give them the ice and snow. Let it go.
So, on the topic of your backpack, right? And this is a tip, not an item, but this ties in with going gray man. Don't leave anything in view in your vehicle if you leave your vehicle. Every major city in the United States is the epicenter of door handle pullers. I had this happen to me, and I was 100 feet from my truck. I stepped out of my truck. There was just a heavy rain, and I stepped out of my truck, and I walked about 100 feet in front of it, and I got into the passenger seat of a foreman on a job site's truck to help him bump his air monitors for air testing. 2 minutes. I turned around. My truck was completely ransacked, iPad gone, bunch of stuff stolen out of the truck. It happens like that. Lock your doors and do not leave anything in plain sight. You're asking for trouble. If it's good enough, your windows are as good as gone. Just hide your stuff.
Windows are not security.
Nope, they are not. Number 5, your radio. And I'm specifically talking about the bootleg and Balfane, right? These things are awesome for urban prepping. And I don't know a lot of people that do this, but get your radio and download the Chirp app, okay? When you have the Chirp app, the next thing you're going to do is go to a website called radioreference.com. Then I want you to look up the police, fire, EMS, rapid response, SWAT. There's all kinds of different municipal, local, state agencies that are on there that publish their frequencies. Okay. You're going to find that frequency. You're going to program that frequency and its offset into your radio. Now, when you're in your truck or you're in your car and you're driving and you hear sirens and people are fleeing and whatnot, you hit scan on those channels, and guess what? Now you have a direct line to the people that are responding to whatever's going on. And the best up-to-date information that you can get is from the source who's going and investigating and dealing with it. I was doing this when I worked. I'm not going to say that online. I've used it very successfully. I don't know. We'll talk about it after, but
That's right.
I had a lot of success with this in some emergency situations at places I've been before. I'm dancing around it because I don't know actually the legality of the one part of it, but you don't talk, right? Because that's the thing with these Balfangs. If you transmit, you are stepping on frequencies that you're not supposed to be on, and you're interfering with police, fire, EMS. Listen, monitor. Don't do anything illegal, right?
And you can be triangulated and found.
Yeah, and there's
Like,
people whose hobby it is to do that, and it's not just like a
Yeah,
slap on
they
the
are
wrist.
good.
It is big boy fines for FCC violations like that. So like, don't screw around.
Yeah, it's one thing if you don't have your GMRS license. It's another thing when you transmit on FAA
Yeah,
frequencies.
exactly.
Like, you just like they will find you like right now.
Yeah, and some of these radios have like 127-ish megahertz, which I think is like that's like planes, right? So like you can really cause some problems if you don't know what you're doing. So don't.
Yeah.
You're listening. You're not getting involved in like, oh, I see the black Chrysler 300C now. Don't get involved, okay? And you know what? That's going to segue us into our first category here for vehicle EDC, which is EDC items for your roadside problems. So these are your dead batteries, your flat tires, loose parts, electrical gremlins, or even things like dead phones or dead devices. So again, number 1, I actually zipped this to the top. It's one of these. Now, if anyone's still listening right now, and I don't know you personally, if you comment, I need an elm, I will send you this one for free right now. As soon as you comment it, I will put this in a box and I'll send it to you and you will have it. So as long as I've never met you, this is yours. If you comment, I need an elm. So sorry, Discord warriors, but you're not getting this. This is going to be reserved for somebody that I don't know and that I have not met. So I have 2 of these. We'll see if we get a bunch of comments. I might send some of these out, but I literally have dozens of these at my house, and I want you to have this one. So shoot us a comment, and I will get you that. Jump pack jumper cables for dead batteries. Batteries are getting crappy today, man.
Yeah, they are. I think you and I both touched on this earlier with the Sam's Club batteries and the warranties, just because
Yeah.
the batteries are getting so bad.
Yep.
But yeah, the jump packs, man. Project Farm actually just released something within the last couple months on like an updated battery bank or jumper cable box thing. And yeah, go see what he recommended. That guy does good.
Cool. But yeah, like Aaron said, find some online reviews. I don't know who makes what anymore. Actually, I have to admit, I don't have a good one right now. So I am in the market. I'm probably going to do that same research, and I'm happy to hear that Project Farm has a review. So I'm going to check out myself.
Yeah.
So the next one here, tire plug kit and tools to change a tire. So this is where an impact gun really helps. Now, it kind of depends on what you're driving every day and what your toolkit looks like. But really, man, I think an impact gun, a 1/2-inch drive electric impact gun, is going to make your life easy. Personally, it travels with me everywhere. I have DeWalt stuff just because that's the battery stuff that I have. But honestly, these days, any brand is pretty solid. Like the Harbor Freight, whatever they call that, the blue one, pretty solid gun. I think it's a great pickup.
Yeah, I actually think this should be like your everyday preparedness, I guess. Prepping. Like so many shops will just hammer on lug nuts with an impact. And if you try to remove them by hand, you're not. So now, like go outside now and loosen up all your lug nuts and tighten them with a 4-way or a torque wrench, and you will thank yourself later.
Yep.
And then I like a 4-way. I usually put the 4-way wrench with my spare somewhere. Like if it's up underneath, I put the 4-way wrench up on top of it and just tighten it up, and it's there.
Yeah.
I fill the sockets with like grease or something so they don't rust and get smaller. But it just lives there. I like that, but I don't over torque my lug nuts either. So
yeah, and especially like if you're of the daintier, non-ogreish handed individuals, maybe you have nice work clothes on and you don't want to be getting dirty. It just helps. It's going to make your life a lot easier, and it's a lot less effort. So it's a good add-on to have. Something you'd mentioned about lifting and lowering a tire. If you have a truck or an SUV and you have a winch that lifts and lowers your spare tire, if you haven't done it, or if you can't think of the last time that you've done it, go ahead and take your spare off and wind that all the way out, clean it and lubricate it, and make sure it's not rusted to hell, because the last thing that you want to do is find out that thing is stuck and you go to lower it and that winch mechanism goes pop. Now you're not getting your tire, bud.
Yep. Wear gloves when you do this. That cable will poke the hell out of you.
Yes, that's a great point. That's a really good point. Wear your PPE in general, actually. I know.
Safety glasses.
Yeah. Aaron's saying that because I almost got hemostatic agent in my eyes. So, boy, that would have been a story for tonight, huh? Why is Nick wearing 2 eye patches tonight? Yeah, well, I'm blind now.
Get those glasses with the eyes on the springs that bounce around.
That's probably what that would have felt like had that gone in my eyeballs. In addition to tools to change a tire, a portable 12-volt compressor. There's hundreds of different options for this. There's the kind that runs off of your drill battery. So if maybe you can kind of combo this up. So if you have a DeWalt drill, you can get the DeWalt compressor. A Milwaukee drill, get the Milwaukee compressor. You can get one that plugs into a cigarette lighter. Some of those don't offer the greatest power output, but if you drive a car, and that's your vehicle EDC in a car, that's probably totally fine. You can go all the way up to a Viair, ARB, whatever, but ultimately you want something that can inflate a tire. Also, you can be the
Yeah.
hero if somebody else needs air in their tire. Takes 5 minutes to deploy the thing, and you're good to go.
Yeah. I usually recommend the Viair 88P. I think that's her small one. It's like
Hmm.
$80 or something.
Yep.
And then the 300P for like anybody else portable. I kind of avoid the cigarette lighter ones.
Hmm.
Um, but Viair, man, they're a good company. They're fully serviceable, good warranty, expandable. Like if you're buying one and want one for life, that's the one to get.
So our next one here for roadside problems is a small toolkit. Now, this can kind of vary on your ability, the size, the space that you have, but ultimately, you want the basics of tools. So a metric set, probably metric based on what you're driving.
Probably.
Um, you know, 3/8 drive from you know 6 or 8 millimeter up to 21 millimeters, probably going to cover you on just about everything you get into. The next part of your toolkit should be parts that are specific to your vehicle that are prone to failure. So if you haven't already, hop on whatever internet forum of choice or Google machine and just look up common failure parts for XYZ and they'll let you know. So for instance, if you have a Nissan Frontier, your cam sensors and your crank sensors around 100,000 miles are probably going to give you trouble. They're not hard to change. However, if they go, you don't go. You're done. You don't go. you know. So having those in your toolkit, and they're small. They're 2 inches in size. Having
Yep.
those is the difference between continuing on or calling for a tow. And I think that would be really wise for somebody to do and to include. This kind of goes in with your toolkit, but I have fuses and an electrical kit, so you can get as intricate as you want. But truthfully, like butt connectors and electrical tape could probably get you pretty far. Spare
Yeah.
fuses.
I really, really recommend those circuit breakers
Yeah, that's a
when
good
you
point too
just,
for testing.
yeah.
Category two, our weather and our environment. So, weather can turn your normal drive into a bit of a problem. And in Appalachia, we have wild and wonderful weather, and it can swing when you don't expect it. It could go from 70 degrees to 30, like that. You need to be prepared for it. It could snow. We get freezing rain, heavy rain, extreme heat, fires. I mean, we really do experience everything. Tornadoes are starting to become seems like increasingly
Yeah.
popular up northeast into our region. You need to be mindful of those things and be prepared for them. So things like a blanket in your vehicle, they pack down small. Think about if somebody gets hurt and maybe you have kids. Think about just how much a blanket, how far that goes, that little bit of comfort. And you can kind of boost that too if you get a 12-volt plug-in heated blanket. You can get these anywhere. You go to Walmart, get them off Amazon. Um, Especially if you're cold or you're stopped, it goes a long way when you have a little bit of extra heat.
Absolutely. If you've got a power bank or something that runs 120, they don't have a timer. The 12-volt ones have a timer on them.
Yeah, that is a really good tip. Um, that's definitely
I
something
didn't know
to keep in
this.
mind.
Yeah, I didn't know this. I got a 12-volt one at Walmart for like, I don't know, it's like $27 in the season closeout sunbeam thing or whatever. And yeah, about 3 o'clock in the morning, I got real cold because the timer went out.
Mm. Yeah, that's true. Mine actually, I'm looking at it right now. It does have a timer, and it is a 12-volt blanket. And I do have a 120 volt, and it doesn't. So that's a great tip. And yeah, I mean, I think, and we'll get into battery banks, but I think that should be part of your vehicle EDC kit anyway. And again, if you have that jump
Yeah,
starter that is also a battery bank, now you know you've combined everything. So it just kind of compounds on itself. As we talk about this stuff and we go deeper and deeper, think about how you can combine these things so that you don't have, look like what am I trying to say? The not the Beverly Hillbillies, but
Brady Bunch.
yeah, just piled full of
Is it the
shit.
Brady Bunch?
Uh,
No, you were right. Beverly
Beverly
Hillbillies.
Hillbillies, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So with that, with your weather and environment, rain gear, um, you know, I think nice rain gear goes a long way. Now, obviously, in an emergency, things like a garbage bag or a hunk of plastic, you know, cut a hole out for your head unless you're just over it. Um, um, but a good rain gear, you can go to Walmart and get what is it, Frog Togs. You can get a full setup. It packs into a little pouch. It's about yay big. You can stuff it anywhere. Being dry
I'm a
goes a long
contractor
way.
trash bag guy. I full blow 55-gallon drum, poke my head out, poncho, throw it away when I'm done. You know, multi-use, man. Like you don't know what you're going to need to clean up on the side of the road. I got trash bags, man. It's a nice little roll. I can stay dry. Like I like trash bags. They're multi-purpose.
When I hear that, it makes me think of like, you talk to someone in the prepper crowd and they're like, you can use a crayon as a candle to warm your hands. It's like, well, yeah, but you can use a candle. Yeah, but can you draw a picture with your candle? Switching gears from being cold, we can be hot too. So water and electrolyte mix. Now you can have water, and you should have water all the time. This can be, a 6-pack of water that you just stuff somewhere in your vehicle. It's the most basic human function. Breathe and drink water. You should have it with you. You should be able to hydrate. And especially if it's hot and you're going to be hot for a while, something with some salt electrolytes in it is going to go a long way. And you could possibly help somebody out. Your electrolyte mix, we've talked about this before, but that should live in your med kit anyway. So that's kind of another example of something where it's got crossover and it's not another thing. It's combined with something else.
Yeah, make sure that if you're just using water bottles, they're not thrown in the back seat and the sun beating on them every single day, because the UV breaks down the plastic and it leaches into the water, and like we got enough microplastics in us and bad shit. Like,
yes,
our food's real bad, so like, just I don't know.
Yeah,
don't do that.
It
tastes bad too.
It does. So there's a good tip for that actually, and I was going to talk about it a little bit later, but this is a great segue into it.
Cool.
I don't remember the brand, but if you Google freeze safe water storage, right, or something to that effect, you'll find foil bag water, and it's just water in a pouch, but it is UV,
like a Capri Sun,
similar but more durable and less dangerous. No mold inside. But basically it's a shelf stable UV protected bag of water that if it freezes, it's no big deal. It won't burst. It's hot and cold tolerant, much more so than a water bottle. And unlike a water bottle that is one uniform shape, you can stuff these things in a door card or wherever, and they're very versatile. I've been meaning to get some ever since I've heard of them. Still don't have any, but maybe this will be my kick in the ass to actually go and do that. But they're supposed to be very cool. I forget the brand. Someone will let me know, or I'll remember to look. But one of the other podcasts that I listen to, shout out Casual Prepper Podcast, they talk about it all the time. So they're something I want to look at. Next one here, change of clothes and shoes that you can walk a long distance in. So you might be out of luck and you might have to take a walk. Maybe you got to go to the store or find gas. You got to help somebody out. And if you're in a, business casual setup, or God forbid, suit and tie setup, you don't want to be in that when you're in a situation where there's a weather or environmental emergency. So you want to change the clothes that's appropriate for the season that you can change into. If you end up in a ditch in the wintertime, you don't want to be in your fancy
Crocs?
Loafers or your, well, maybe I love my Crocs.
He's a fleece line.
See, yeah, they got
They're only
winter
warm on the
Crocs.
toes.
Yeah.
Ah.
And you actually, this is kind of where you guys were at in the 24-hour last year.
Yeah. So last year we passed a gas station. I actually blew the horn at them because I was like, haha, I don't need gas. Yeah, I needed gas. Should have filled up that tank. I'm half tank of fuel, like it's cold. We don't have winter stuff to be able to survive that. And like, yeah, if we get stuck in the ice, that's no big deal. You got your radiator, you still got heat. I can just idle until somebody comes along. But you could have hit a tree, man. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I could have hit a tree.
Yeah.
And once you blow your radiator to pieces, you have no heat.
Yeah.
So you have to rely on your blankets and your hoodies and all this stuff. And like, I made a survival decision that we had no business being up there without enough fuel and gear to be able to handle that.
Well, it goes.
And we were already dealing with the truck hurt too.
Correct.
So
yeah, well, it goes back to the rule of threes that we talked about. 3 things go wrong, you gotta change course. You had mechanical issues with the truck, you were low on fuel, and the weather went to total shit. Really, do you want to find out what happens if you find a 4th thing? I think that was in your especially with losing the bag. I think it was very responsible. Especially with a passenger.
it was
like if I die, but if I have a passenger,
yeah,
I'd feel bad. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the smartest decision I've ever made out wheeling, is to just say, we don't need to go up here today.
For sure. Well, I think that wraps weather. Category 3 is rural travel, which is overlanding. That's once you get there. Rural travel is what we do. And some examples that you're going to get into where rural travel gives you problems is gas stations are closed. Think about how many times we've, pre-checked out a route, look on Google Maps. It shows, hey, 6 months ago, there was a picture taken of this BP station, and you get there and it's Bud's Notary Shack, or it's burnt to the ground, it happens a lot. And, stores get closed. You have no cell phone service. There's long distances between towns where you just have no way of communicating. And there's things that you need to do to make sure that you can communicate, eat, drink, fuel your vehicle. So starting off with vehicle EDC items for rural travel, we're back to water. You're going to hear me say things like water and flashlights pretty frequently. And this is where I had talked about those emergency water pouches. Look those up. I think they're going to be very beneficial to keeping your vehicle at all times. Snacks. For you as an adult, protein bars. That's going to keep you alive and calorically dense. If you have kids, whatever they eat, calories matter for them right now. Nutrition does not. All right. You're going to get home and get your crunchy meals later. Right now, Gushers, gummies, brown, whatever they like to eat that is stable, keep in your vehicle.
Gummies melt in the summer, by the way.
Oh, that's true.
I'm just throwing it out there, just if it saves somebody, like that was not a fun cleanup.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we've actually talked about, and I think we will, but kids bring in a whole other element to this, and we'll probably have an episode on that. But keep your kids in mind as we're going through this and what they need, because everything that you need, they need. And guess what? If you have multiple kids like us, that multiplies it again. So keep that in mind. A flashlight. It gets dark. Bring a flashlight. I'm going to just keep saying this. Maps. So you're going to lose phone service. It's not an if, it's when. It's a guarantee you're going to lose phone service. Now, almost all of us use Gaia, Onyx, whatever, Google Maps. Download the offline maps for the regions that you're going to be in. I think 50% of my phone's native storage is offline Gaia Maps, it's a no-brainer. Pick a decent zoom layer and make sure that you can navigate if you lose service. I think that's like
in detail.
In detail. Yep.
Yeah, I downloaded a bunch of them. I'm like, I don't need full detail. I'll just do the low resolution one, so I have some maps and I can kind of get where I'm going. I could not get where I was going. I
Mm,
had download download the high detail ones.
yeah. And honestly, from what I can tell, the Gaia Overland layer. See, I'm most familiar with Gaia. The Gaia Overland layer seems to give the most information with the least amount of data. Like something like a satellite with labels, that one seems to take a lot of data. So something to toy around with and keep in mind. I don't play around with too many other map layers, but I do use the Gaia Overland.
Yeah, I used OnX for a minute. I had a year subscription with it, and it was problematic. It was just OnX does amazing things
Hmm.
for our community. Like I don't want to bash them, and I'm running $100 phone from 4 years ago, so like I'm sure that's not factoring in either, you know. But it was glitchy for me. Like I had a hard time pulling up stuff or importing stuff. It didn't work as smoothly as what Gaia did. Yeah,
Yeah.
Gaia, Harris.
I think like I started using Gaia with like hiking and mountain biking, and if you kind of come from that world, the transition into Onyx, the UI just is I
Yeah, it's the UI that I
it's
have
just
an issue
different.
with.
It like I said, it's really good and it's better for a lot of things. But I like Gaia. Um,
Yeah,
I do,
just have
however, I
one.
do have one major bitch about Gaia. When they
Yeah.
partnered with Outside and did the whole like homepage thing and like the look at our community thing, I don't want your community at all. Like I want my maps. So if they could make that go away, that would be really great. Because it's close to pushing me to just use OnX again. um all right, what do I have next here? Oh, your battery pack. So we've kind of talked about these with electrical, but what do you like in a battery bank? I know you kind of have more battery bank usage than I do.
um, I like I would need a 12 volt cigarette outlet, uh, USBs, whatever. There's going to be something there. You're going to be fine. Um, and I want at least two, maybe three 120 plugs. If there's more, so be it. I want something around 1,000 capacity is kind of the sweet spot.
Hmm.
Um, if I can charge that off the vehicle between 300-400 watts without the alternator really being upset and whatever, you're good all day as far as what we do.
Yeah.
And you will park every night with a full battery, and that's let me run 20 minutes of the air fryer, get me my nuggets and my fries, and I can run my heated blanket and charge my phone. And
Yeah.
I wake up and run the refrigerator all night.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that I run an Anchor. The one that I've really been recommending, the hindsight purchase, was Eco something. It's
The
EcoFlow.
EcoFlow, yeah, yeah.
A Delta. Yeah, the Delta 2, I think it is. Don't hold me on the Delta. It's their 1,000 power bank. But the second generation, I know for sure, does 400-watt charging on 12 volt.
Okay.
If you just change a setting in it, you got to run some wires. We've talked about it before.
Yeah, yeah,
You want to know, hit me up. Like we'll send you the YouTube or whatever.
yeah.
Um, I like those. That they honestly, I've been using it as like a battery backup in the house. With the storms we've had, I've got it on my refrigerator.
Yeah, that's what I use mine
So
for. Get yourself a battery bank. Next one here, secondary comms. So maybe you drop your phone, you break your phone, you lose your phone. This stuff happens. So you need a way to talk to people and communicate. Now, one that is amazing, but not a lot of us have, is your ham radio. Get your amateur radio license. You do a lot with that. There's APRS. You can send email packets, information, reach out as far as you want with the equipment, based on what you have. It's a great tool. One day I'll get it. I've been saying I'm getting it for years now. I still don't have it. One day. One day. Uh, you could also get something like a Garmin InReach, or there's some other similar satellite communicators like that. What about a satellite phone? Is that a thing? No one talks about that anymore.
I have no idea. Last time I saw like satellite phones being a thing, they were like
In
pull them off your car center console. It was like, hello?
Yeah, in
Like,
Jurassic
they
Park.
were bricks.
You know, like,
Yeah.
I think that's the last time I saw a satellite phone was Jurassic Park. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know why that's not popular. Maybe it's not. Um, I don't know.
I don't know how much radiation it's pumping in your skull either.
Well, yeah,
Like
that's
it's
true
got to take
too.
a little energy to reach space.
That's true too. Last one here is Starlink. Apparently everyone has Starlink now. I don't. I guess I'm just poor, but it seems like everyone has Starlink. You just have all your stuff everywhere.
I got kids.
Yeah. um, Great option.
Means I should have it.
You have Starlink. You can do it all. So get
Flappy Bird away.
yeah. I have a little short here, a little break. What is the weirdest thing that you carry in your vehicle?
I haven't put it in yet, but this is it. Do you know this is so dumb? Hold on.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
This is like major big time deal in China
Okay.
or Japan, I guess,
Okay.
in the drift world. And it's a it's a little helmet with a screen in it.
that's
And it does all kinds of like little things, and it's got a gyroscope in it, so like you can lean it and like its heads it does stuff.
Yeah,
It's like every 30 seconds it'll respond and do different things.
That's
and like
fun.
it's gonna go on my dash, and it makes sound. I turn that off.
Yeah.
You can set up that'll say like welcome to the driving experience in Japanese
that's
or whatever,
so
and then
sick.
like Toyota Motors. So it's like the the little Asian
Yeah,
Japanese girl in the drift scene that like you hear the EDM Toyota Motor. You fire it up your car.
Mine is, where is it? So I got myself this is just a case, but I got a new set of AirPod Pros, right? Now, okay, that's not that useful or different, but my use case is different. So something that's become increasingly an issue for me is in my line of work. There's a lot of language barrier issues. Well, with the new AirPods, it's like a live translator feature that you can do.
Ooh.
And I haven't had the opportunity to do it yet. But I would like to, because there's been a lot of times where, like, in layman's terms, hey, don't do that, you'll die. And someone's like, oh, mitai rebar, thank you. And it's like, oh, no, dude, no.
Si,
it's
senor.
electric, bzz, bzz, So I am unfortunately very unilingual, English hardly, Appalachian fully. So, I took German in high school, but I just wanted to look at Frau Patsy. Sorry. Um, she didn't teach me anything, so I didn't learn. I know now. I just know English. So, um, I think it'll be cool, and I'd like to try it out. It's to the point where it's like happening on like at least a weekly basis where there's a language barrier. So, at least I'll be able to understand what they're saying, and then I don't know what maybe I'll do smoke signals or
Yeah.
something to relay something back. That's the environment that I grew up in. It was
Yeah.
I was a 9/11 child, so I know how it
Yeah.
was. But now I'm working around people that speak Farsi, and I don't. It's
But
not
the
even
stuff
close.
that
At least Spanish I can kind of pick up on this and that, but I think there's a
Yeah.
lot to be said for being multilingual, bilingual. Who knows? Maybe one
Yeah.
day I'll Rosetta Stone it up, and there's all kinds of apps and stuff now. But that's pipe dreams. That's like me getting my ham license. I'll get my ham license when I learn Farsi.
Right.
Anyway, so category 4, this is your personal convenience and quick fixes. So these are things that make fixing problems for you and your vehicle easier. So number 1 here, dude wipes. Enough said. They're
Sure you don't want the cherry Crestos?
Listen, man. Mint chill dude wipes. It's great. Especially if you got kids, you got to clean up after them in various places and ways. They clean surfaces half decent, clean you pretty well. I think that they go a long way. That's actually, well, we'll talk about that later. I think you have a question about this one. The next one, your vices. All right. When an emergency happens, you do not want to use that emergency as the time to quit cold turkey. All right. You're probably going to want your vices more. You know, and I see you guys eyeballing my Scandinavian Zen. I'm not telling you my secret on where that comes from.
Got that stuff being advertised to my kids all the time. That there was Grizzly ads the other day. We were talking about that in the chat. Now I got Grizzly ads being sold to my kids.
I actually, you got
Peppa Pig and Grizzly Chew.
I probably have to blur that out. Actually, I don't know if I'm allowed to do. I don't think I could show that. Actually, I think that might be against the rules. Remind me to make that. The thing that I was holding was Zen. But yeah, obviously don't bring booze with you, but I'm talking like, caffeine, nicotine, pack of smoke, stuff that you got stowed away so that if you're stuck somewhere and you can't get it or a store's closed, you got it,
Yeah.
Fix yourself. And that goes for any medical thing or any addiction or anything like that. That's the best prep you can make, is not have that. I mean, obviously the best prep I could do is not use nicotine and caffeine. However, I'm painfully addicted to caffeine and pretty addicted to nicotine. I am.
Yeah.
I'd like to not be. The problem is I like them.
Caffeine and sugar for me, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm a stimulated hummingbird. I think is what it is.
Yeah. So bring your vices with you. Keep it legal. We'll leave it at that. Keep it legal. Women's hygiene products, right? If you have girls with you, Dad, you might need these. You have a wife. Keep them with you. I'm sure that your wife doesn't stock your truck, but you stock your truck, and you can be the hero husband if you just peek at what she's got in the bathroom. You buy the same stuff. It goes a long way, right? There's women all over the place. Just be a gentleman and have that stuff with you. It's a pretty nice prep to have, and they pack away in a little purse. I'm sure you can find a place in your truck. Put it in your med kit. Next one. If you have kids, a blowout bag. If you do not know what that is, just keep using condoms, bud.
Facts.
A headlamp and a flashlight. Just gonna keep saying that because for whatever reason you guys just won't do it.
Yeah.
Next one here. JB Weld or Quick Steel or some type of epoxy. That looks like the water one.
This is the water weld. It's been around for a minute, but I like the water weld because it will set up underwater, and that means it will set up above water. And if water is present, and where we go, we're probably gonna have some water.
That's a really good tip. I never even considered that. That's smart. I'm gonna add that. I'm gonna remember that.
We've cost ourselves a lot of money from this talking about stuff over the
last 25 episodes. But you know what, dude? I got some prep.
None of us have bought anything.
No, well,
well, we've bought let's see. I think I bought one or two things. From this, it's changed my opinion on some things, but that's a different story.
But I have a great. It's my favorite Quick Steel story ever. I'll tell it when we get to that part. The next one here is a rag, a towel, a microfiber, anything that's going to prevent your underwear from becoming a rag, a towel, or a microfiber.
This is the compressed towel tip. Is like you can buy like 200 compressed towels and little tablets for like $10 off Amazon. Just buy them.
Yep. Zip ties, electrical tape, duct tape. You can fix a hell of a lot of problems with those three things right there. You should have them.
Black zip ties. Don't do the white ones because they'll sit in your vehicle in the heat, and then you go use them and they crumble.
Yeah.
Use the black ones.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't know why. I'm assuming that the plastic is just more UV compliant when they're black.
Dude, I have no
Yeah,
idea.
but the white ones
It,
do
it
seem to get
just
brittle.
yeah, the white ones get brittle. Use the black ones.
Get some nice thick ones too. Actually,
Thick and long.
yep.
They can always be shorter.
Yeah. Yeah, you can fix a lot of stuff with good zip ties. All right, category 5. This is your emergency gear. This is the stuff that hopefully you never have to use, right? This teeters on, you know, this isn't really everyday use, but it's everyday carry to prep you for emergencies. So these are things like your trauma kit. Um, we're driving, so car accidents, that's your number one risk, right?
That's the only way I'm stopping anymore.
Yeah. Yep. Fire extinguisher. We talked about this earlier, but the biggest you can reasonably fit, a window punch, and a seatbelt cutter. I feel like, dude, in the last, like, what, 2 weeks? How many news stories have there been about vehicles going into the drink?
I haven't seen any of them, but I don't watch the news, so it could
There,
have been a lot.
yeah, there was a guy in a delivery truck that this went over. Gosh, I can't even imagine how terrifying that would be. Now, I know if
Yeah.
you watch MythBusters, right, you wait until pressure equalizes and push it out. But if you can't unbuckle, you're not going anywhere.
Um,
So, next up on emergency gear, here's one. I'm actually out of these. I'd like to get some more, but road flares. They're multi use, they burn when they're wet. Um, if you have a group with you and there's a breakdown, maybe you're over a rise or around a blind corner, road flares make a really, really nice safety net. And if you need a fire, a road flare is going to get you a fire too. So you can get these things cheap. I think Tractor Supply has them. Um, they're cheap. They're easy to have. I guarantee you, actually, if you go to your local fire department and you talk to somebody for 30 seconds and say, "Hey, I'm doing X, Y, and Z, and do you have any road flares?" I bet you they probably hook you up with some road flares. Or if you know a police
yeah.
officer, someone in EMS, you're probably going to be able to get a handful of road flares. They're pretty easily attainable. You can go above and beyond with emergency gear, but I really think that covers the EDC level of emergency gear. I can't think of anything else that you would really want to have with you.
Yeah, I can't either.
Category 6. So this is your trail gear, right? So this is the crossover between your off-roading overland gear and the stuff that you bring with you every day. So I don't EDC a ton of things here. My trail gear that I carry with me every day is really limited to I keep a recovery strap, which is just a toe strap, couple soft shackles, and my tire compressor. That's really all I bring with me.
Same,
Um,
same. Tire kit,
yeah,
like patch kit,
yeah.
plug kit. But outside of that, like same.
Yeah, I think like if your overlander off-roader is your daily and you have the storage for all your stuff, like yeah, it probably doesn't make sense to take it out. But if you have multiple vehicles, I don't know that you need your kinetic ropes and multiple shackles and you can if you have the room for it, but I don't think that I would say it's a
It's weight.
everyday thing. Yeah. Um Okay, so before we move on here, what gear do you think is overrated for everyday carry? And this can be in any category.
I carried a machete right down in the center of the seat, like stuff between the console and the seat. It was a SOG. I don't remember. It was a SOG, like 14-inch machete.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to use this. This will be amazing. I'll be able to do so much. I never used it. If I needed a machete, I was like, I don't feel like swinging my arms around, whatever. Then I about cracked my knee open with it the one time I did use it. And I was like, you know what, man, this is just a disaster waiting to happen. It's got a place. It's cool. This is a $20 problem multiplier. It wasn't sharp enough to like slice through stuff. Like it just, I don't know, man. Like there's people carrying machetes and stuff. Like that's cool, but we're not in the jungle.
Yeah.
We're cutting through saplings and stuff. It just, you're better off with a little handsaw.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that fully. The one for me, man, I know this is no surprise to anybody, but
I feel the same way.
traction boards on your daily. Look, like I know you're not going every day after work, getting into situations where you need your max tracks. All you're doing, guys, is exposing them to UV and the elements and crimes of opportunity for someone that's going to walk off with them, and you look kind of goofy. It's I don't know. Again, if your truck is primarily your toy and you don't want to take them off, and maybe you ran the thing to Walmart or whatever, like that's fine, I guess. But if you take a trip every, you know, once every 3 months, and you daily drive the truck every other day, it's pretty silly to have those things strapped to the side of the truck. Again, for me, it's mostly just a pet peeve, but also there is some real ramifications of it. The UV damage comes to mind the most, especially if you're somewhere where it's real sunny or real cold. You're just damaging something that otherwise could be stored away nicely that you can take out when you actually need it.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't wanna have to need that, and it's gotten so brittle from UV that it just cracks.
I'm actually pretty sure that Max Tracks and like ARB claim that they're like super ARB or super,
They're plastic.
but it's plastic. Exactly.
It's plastic.
Exactly.
Like, physics still apply.
Yep.
They can do their mix or whatever, proprietary UV resistant mix. It's plastic,
Yep.
dude. Like, yeah, it's gonna take 100 billion years for it to decompose, but that's to be, like, gone, and you put a piece of plastic outside for 5 years, I promise you, it ain't doing good.
No, I
Like, that
mean,
thing's crumbling.
I'll tell you, I've had, let's see, there's been,
I was thinking the temporary flower pots that, like, you hang, like, those things crumble all the
yeah,
time. You go to Lowe's, get yourself a tomato plant, you think you're gonna reuse those crappy pots?
yep.
No, that's not happening.
Yeah, no, I agree there. Anything else? Overrated?
I don't like the shovels with, like, the teeth on them that people have on the side with, like, the 2-foot handle. It's like that goes back to, like, the tactical thing. Like, what are you doing? Shoveling a zombie in the neck?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's not gonna scrape good. They don't dig good. They're on the side of the vehicle. They're gonna get stolen.
Y-
They rust
The only
and they
thing
drip down the side. Like,
The only
no.
application that I can think of for those would be in the winter, like
Beach.
icy with those teeth. That's like
Oh,
that kind of makes sense,
eh.
but I don't know. I've only used a shovel like twice off-roading ever in my life. I've used it to
I don't know that I ever
I
have.
use a little gardening hand trowel to poop.
Oh.
Like I don't I don't I don't I don't bring a big shovel.
I'll carry a snow shovel if I'm out in that weather, which I want to be less, but
Yeah.
like unless I'm thinking like beach,
Oh
sand,
yeah,
that's the only time you
that's a
need a
good point.
shovel.
Yeah.
That's a different world. But if you're out there, like if you're on the beach all the time, you got your Jeep out, you're surf fishing, like yeah, you strap a shovel
Yeah, and traction
over
boards.
your
Sand
cage.
ladders are that's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm never ever bitching about max tracks, sand ladders, whatever you want to call them, for beach and sand travel. So like there's a real application there. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
That is like a complete 180 of how I feel about them for dirt and mud. Um, I think there's definitely application there. You watch, I've have been shit talking Max Track so much, but when we get up into Michigan and it's real sandy, I'll end up sinking the Yukon, and I'll trust me, I'll do everything in my power to not recover myself with Max Tracks. Uh, what about your personal EDC, man? This is what's you're on your body when you're away from your vehicle. So what's in your pockets?
This is every day for me. I've got a Gerber EAB light. This is a like $12 knife from Walmart, and I've got Husky serrated razor blade on it.
Ooh,
And dude, that blade is one of the sharpest blades I've ever come across.
yeah.
You want to talk about just
I didn't
butter through a
I
rubber
didn't know
hose?
Husky made a serrated blade like that. That's pretty cool.
Not Husky. It's what's Harbor Freight?
Oh,
Not Harbor Freight. Home Depot. Home Depot. The orange one.
rigid.
So, Maybe.
something at home.
I will
Yeah.
find it. Yeah, I've got the bin here, but
check that out.
you go back and they've got like the carpet hooks, and then they've got all the different. It's there on the shelf, serrated.
Okay.
And I mean, they hold up good.
I like that.
So it's small. I have carried so many knives over the years. I've spent good money on knives. They dull up. First time you strip wire with them, the blade's gone.
Yeah.
Like this thing, I've lost a handful of them. It stays in my back pocket. I'm out $12. I go to Walmart, I get a new one.
Yep.
Yeah. So that stays on me. I carry a Gerber M&P 600.
Those are great. The way those deploy are great.
Dude, this is the deal. The ticket, one-handed, whatever.
Yep.
It's got the carbide bit so that you can cut wire and like replace it. Or like coat hangers. You take a coat hanger to a pair of multi-tools, your wire cutters are gone.
Yep.
But this is the bladeless version. I think I got it for like $60 on a Black Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And I have flown with this. I went to Florida with it in my pocket.
Really?
Yep. As long as you like have it all open in your luggage.
Yeah.
And like TSA opens up the bag and they see it and they'll sit there and be like real obvious and count everything and like look, and they'll be like, okay, there's no blade, you can go.
Yeah.
Just know you're going to be pulled over for
I'm sure it's I'm sure it's subject to whomever is whatever mood somebody is in for that day too.
Yeah. I took that knife I just showed, that Gerber.
Yeah.
I took the razor blade out of it and I had it open. They were laying right on top of my suitcase. So like they opened it up, the stuff sitting there. It was obvious they had to dig through my bag. They let me fly with it. But I went bladeless because I'm already carrying a blade.
Yeah, right.
The blade that comes on these suck. I don't need a blade on this. I don't use it. I traded it for a jigsaw blade.
Okay.
I can put whatever. It's just got like a rem grit jigsaw blade that I've used for kind of whatever. But that's my pliers. Olight S30R magnetic, like
the magnet is a really nice add-on.
Yep, it's rechargeable. Actually, the moonlight mode, you hold it down. Let's see, it's real dim.
Oh yeah,
like I use that more like getting dressed at early morning hours or whatever. Like around the house. And then I carry a lighter. And let me tell you a story on a lighter. I got into doing wiring and shrink wrap with vending machines, and it was like, man, I just need something to like just shrink this up real quick. And I was carrying a Bic, and I left working at Pepsi on vending machines, and I went down to my buddy's working welding stuff, and I'm grinding and doing stuff, and a welding spall went in my pocket and melted a hole in the Bic, and poof, if you've ever had butane explode in your pocket, it's not a good time.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So I went to a Zippo.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. And I was like, okay, this is old school. This is classic, whatever. And I used the regular insert with it. Well, then my pockets, like my legs started burning about, 2-3 hours at work. What's going on? And come to find out, the fluid evaporates out of there, and that's like an irritant.
Yeah.
So, and it became a pain in the ass to keep fluid in them.
Yeah.
So I ended up buying off Amazon. It's like $12. I bought a butane insert for it.
Oh shit!
So I don't have to. Okay.
I did not know you could do that.
Yeah, I've got the normal flame, and I've also got a torch.
Get out! You gotta send me the link to that. That is sick.
Yep. It's like $10 for that insert, and then you just use whatever Zippo thing. And this is the one. So like you can get the Zippo Bic insert. Actually, I got it.
So you can just change the insert for any Zippo case. Son of a bitch.
So I'm due for another case.
I used to be really good about carrying a lighter, but I've fallen out of it. Like I have them scattered throughout the truck and whatnot, but like they're not doing me any good if I'm out walking around.
Yeah.
Have I had?
It's
to
weird
make
to carry
fire?
a lighter when you're not a smoker.
Yeah.
Like that's what most people carry a lighter for. If
Yeah. Have I ever had to make a fire to survive? Like, no. But like, boy, if you ever needed one, man.
I have found a reason to use a lighter a lot. Like once I started carrying a flashlight, I didn't realize how much I was missing a flashlight until I started carrying one.
Yeah.
Now I can't be without one. Now, same with a lighter. I use a lighter so much in my job that if I don't have it, I'm naked.
Yeah.
So
I'll be getting that in. So I'm going to ask you for the link for that.
yeah,
That's
I've
sick.
actually got I've got the lower pouch that just stays there.
Yeah, that's sick. I like that a lot.
While we're talking about pouches and stuff, same over here. Got my leather one, but then this one's a like what do they call it? The nylon webbing or whatever. Reinforce all the joints and any wear parts with super glue. Before you put your blade or whatever in there, and you got a high spot, super glue, and it turns into like a plastic. Stuff will
nice
survive everything. Like all your little stitches and stuff, man, super glue.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Cool.
What else do I carry? Can opener. All right, this is a U.S. Shelby Co. I think it's a P38.
Yeah.
Or 50 maybe. Like just put it. They are sharp, man. They're sharp. They will poke you, but like worth it.
Yeah.
So I carry that. This is a good one too. I don't know if I might have put this in tech tips, but we're here.
Yeah.
I carry one of these. You probably know what this is.
Yeah, we got a Silcock key.
Yeah. To open up all the faucets or electrical panels or like whatever that goes on a key ring.
I keep one of those. I have one of those in the truck. I
usually
never
keep it in the truck.
I have at work borrowed water before from facilities.
Yeah. You can get away with a lot when you don't have to ask for it. So
Yep.
You walk up to a building, turn the water on. Nobody's really asking questions because they think, oh, he's got the key. He knows what's going on. Like
sucking Wendy's sprinklers.
Act like you've been there before. Yeah. And are we talking pews?
Yeah.
Are we showing?
Yeah, I was going to leave it in the safe, but yeah. I don't know if we can I don't think we can show them. I don't know how that works.
Can we not show?
I don't know if we can show them.
Okay.
Well,
I've got it here. So I've got a the hell is this thing? This is a Sterling 22 long rifle semi-auto. So this is like your throwaway tiny mouse gun 22 long rifle. I like 22 because I really don't want to kill anybody. There's a lot of paperwork and stuff that happens with that. If I have to pull my gun on a person, the fireball that erupts out of that thing will get your attention. And like, I just want to get away. Like, I'm not trying to defend myself or stop them. I just want them to be like, oh, that was loud. Like, it's a flashbang and a bee sting.
Yeah.
You know, I have killed muskrats with that fishing. I've done a mag dump in a muskrat that popped out at my feet. But yeah, mowing grass, I've got a Ruger 2245 that's tanker holster. I like them because like they're not in your way. It sits here. Like,
yeah,
I don't have to get up. It's I like that. But yeah, that little pistol appendix carry, I call it the noisy cricket because it's about the size of it, you know.
Yeah. My EDC is not crazy. Standard pocket knife. So I've carried some variant of the CRKT M16 for the longest time. Now this is the smaller version of it. It's no assist or anything. It's a decent knife. I lost the OG version, which I really, really, really liked, and I can't find the one that I really, really liked anymore. This one's nice. It's just I like it because it's very small diameter. Wise, fits in the pocket nice. I talked about the flashlights. Actually, my Fenix is in the truck, but the Streamlight always with me. The only negative with these is it's not rechargeable, and I find myself carrying this less and less. And truthfully, when these batteries die, I don't know. I like the rechargeable a lot better than replacing the batteries.
Yeah.
My multi-tool, I don't have it sitting here with me, but it's the Leatherman Surge. Now, it's bulky. The Surge is bulky, but the reason I carry it is for the reason that you mentioned, and is because of those carbide jaws. You can cut small diameter metal, cable, wire, and it's got a big handle, so it's tough. Then they have to get the Leatherman. Yeah. I like it also has scissors. It's got scissors in it, which I've found very handy. You don't realize how frequently you would use scissors if you have them,
Oh,
but
dude.
having scissors is sweet.
That's
Um,
yes, these are Fiskars.
yeah, yeah, you use
And
them all the time. I use them all the
all
time.
the time. Number one tool on my multi-tool that I use besides the pliers.
There's a cool company, and I haven't bought from them for a really long time, but the company is Clip Draw. They make Kydex retention molded holsters for various multi-tools. One of the downsides with modern Leathermen is most of them don't ship with a nice leather holster. They ship with that nylon, which um, it's good for walking around, but if you're rolling around and working, you're going to rip it off on your belt, and you're going to lose them. I just don't think
The
that.
super glue trick
Yeah,
works
yeah.
amazingly well.
I just don't think that Leatherman's holsters from the factory are like what they used to be. So that like to get a button snap leather holster for the Surge, but the clip draw is pretty darn slick. It clips into your belt, doesn't come off. Retention's adjustable. I've never once had it even think about falling out. And if you need it, it's a straight draw. It's just really handy. But again, I haven't bought from them for probably like 6 years now, so I'm not sure if they're still an outfit, but they're pretty cool. An iPhone. This is a everyday carry, man. This thing's got everything from maps to satellite texting is a thing now. It's always with me, phone, wallet, key is kind of deal. I think the phone is a big prep. I carry an MP9C. I've had it for forever. I'm pretty into the firearm world, but I'm not. I don't know. I really enjoy simplicity. I don't do the whole like rear mount reticle thing. I have weapons with dots. For my EDC, I like it as simple as possible. I don't piss with my EDC. It just works well. It's got a bajillion rounds through it. It's just fun to shoot. And I'm well trained with it. If I feel like being Arthur Morgan, however, I do OC a GP 100 when we're camping. That's usually, if you guys see the old big iron on the hip, that's my GP 100. I'm very much more so in the camp of like, if I ever have to draw, I'm going to put you on a t-shirt and your mother is going to cry.
Wow.
um,
Yeah.
God willing that I never have to do that. But my life is much more important than the individual that's trying to harm me. So sorry. But yeah, that's I don't. I know some guys that they look like a janitor walking around with a duty belt worth of shit for their EDC. I don't know. I don't think that.
I got a lot on my belt, admittedly, but like with what I do for work, like
Yeah, yours is.
it
Yeah.
saves me so many steps.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things of like, yeah, I work on the clock, but this skill set is like a lifestyle, and I get roped into it at there's not a day that goes past that I don't use something on my belt.
Yeah.
It just doing something,
Yeah. The multi-tool, like I guarantee I use my multi-tool daily. Absolutely daily. The only thing I've broke on it was it had a saw on it, and I was sawing off like a sapling, and I was going too fast, and I cocked it sideways, and I busted the blade. They're replaceable. I've just never replaced it.
Have you ever been on Etsy and looked at all the different adapters?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like people buy them and then part them out, and they make custom ones.
What I'd like to get is
whatever.
the ferro rod attachment for the Leatherman is really slick.
Have you ever started a fire with one of those? I bought a ferro rod once, and I was like, I dicked with it for a long time. I wore
It's
it
a
like
skill
most of the way through, and I never got one going. I even like dumping some lighter fluid down. I'm like, I'm going to get a fire. Dude, a lighter.
A lot of it, like shaving your magnesium so that you have some shavings, helps.
Yeah.
There's a fire starter that I really like. It's Blackbeard? It's like a rope. That works really
Yeah, I've seen that.
Works
That
really
looks
well.
cool.
Works very well with the ferro rod and steel. But yeah, I mean, a lighter. This goes back to the crayon versus candle thing. Are you really going to EDC and plan on starting a fire with ferro rod, or are you just going to bring a couple Bics? So I think like having this conversation, I'm glad that we've had it because I really should add a lighter back into it. And now I have a reason to be excited about it because that kit for the Zippo is pretty freaking cool. So I like that.
Yeah, it's dirt cheap too. It's straight China. Like I think I paid $10 for that instantly.
Yeah.
But us talking about fire, the weirdest thing I carry in the truck is a Ziploc bag of dryer lint
Okay.
for fire starting.
Okay.
That's my tinder. Like we've got
Yeah.
shitloads of it. Dude, it goes right up.
Yeah.
Um, that's probably like that's the weird thing.
Yeah.
I totally forgot I had that in the truck.
The old
So we're talking about it. I'm like, that's why I keep it. Is like if I'm ever someplace and it's wet and like I want to start a fire, that's my dry kindling.
Yeah. I think you can like Vaseline that and it becomes even like upgraded, like moderately waterproof, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. I never really pissed with
Yeah,
it.
I know
But I
they.
think you can, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I've got 2 kids and a wife, man. Like they go through some clothes. My
Dude,
my,
you're
my
telling me.
4-year-old is like changing costumes every couple minutes. Like we go through stuff. I have some lint around
Listen,
here.
I can do a thermal fuse in a dryer in about 7 minutes now.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
All right. This is my favorite part of the show. I should have opened with this actually. What's your best MacGyver moment?
I've got a really good story here. So I had just started dating my wife. I don't even know we were dating at that point in time. I think we were just hanging out. And I go to turn into the bank, and there was a guy in front of me that just like he missed like 10 openings to make the left hand turn in, and I got pissed behind him because like we had shit to do today,
Yeah.
And I just decided I was going to cut the left hand turn and go into the bank behind him. He can sit there. Well, when I went to straighten the wheel back out, the truck kept turning left. I lost all steering.
Oh,
And I'm like, what the hell happened? The this is my old blue square body.
yeah.
The drag link, the ball joint separated. Thank God it did it there. If it had done it on the interstate, certain death.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. To lose steering like that. But anyway, I didn't tell anybody I was hanging out with a girl, and I was at this point in time kind of trying to keep stuff under the radar,
Yeah,
and
right,
like,
right.
and I'm in a situation here where I'm like, I'd like to keep this deal going. I'd like to get home and get my Ramblers. We'll move this to another vehicle. I'll deal with this another day.
Right.
And I pulled the 6x9 speakers out from behind the seat
Oh my
and took
gosh.
the speaker wire and I hammered it back together with an old shock, the ball joint back together, and then I wrapped speaker wire around it,
Gosh.
and I had like 8 miles to get to my dad's house.
Holy shit.
And apparently I was like the biggest asshole I could have ever been during this time because I was like radio off, like white knuckled, like I told her she had to wear her seatbelt. I'm like, stay over the like, don't touch me. And we drove like this thing's got loud flow masters and mud tires. Like I'm not hearing this drag link go ting ting. That's what I'm listening for. But like I tied it up tight. We were stopping like every quarter mile. I'm getting out, looking at it. I'm making adjustments. But yeah, dude, I just gutted speaker wire. It got me home.
That's awesome.
That was the worst one I've ever done. Hindsight, like had I been by myself, that was a tow.
Yeah.
But like it was worth it.
So
that deal worked out good.
My best MacGyver moment is oh gosh, this is some of just the most fondest memories. So, I've talked about the Gambler, right? And if anyone who's listening isn't familiar with the Gambler, I bought a Mercury Grand Marquis off of a great man. He just recently passed, actually. But he took excellent care of his vehicles. But the downside to this vehicle was it parked in grass. So the outside of this thing was in great shape. I think it had like 100,000 miles on it, but he parked it in grass. And he didn't do a ton of driving in it. But because it parked in grass and grass that had gotten high, everything under it was pretty crusty. The frame was mostly okay, but fuel lines were not okay, right? So I pissed with this car and, it's lifted and this and that. And it had a bunch of different fuel leaks and stuff in it. It needed all new lines. It absolutely needed all new lines, but I wasn't doing that.
Gambler.
Gambler, yeah. So It's fully painted. The Zen livery is on it. The stickers are on it, and I'm taking this thing test driving. So I'm hungry now. So I'm going to McDonald's. So I go to McDonald's, I get my food, I'm driving around. I took like the long way. It's a dirt road home, and I'm just making sure that this thing's, gonna hold together. I'm hitting bumps and stuff, and all of a sudden, oh, it smells like fuel bad. So I shut it off and I get out, and there is like a loop where the fuel line, it's a hard line, it loops down and it kind of wraps the frame and it goes back up by the rear axle. It's pissing. And I'm like, oh, this isn't good. So I touch it and it's like crumbly. That section is really bad.
Ooh.
So I'm like, well, I have tools in the car because I figured it could break down. I had my full tool roll. In that tool roll was a tube of quick steel. Okay. And the only other thing I have is a McDonald's cup. So I broke out that bad section. Okay. And I shoved I cut probably like 2-ish, maybe 3 inches off the McDonald's straw. And I shoved that like around and I cut the side of it so that I could like enclose the fuel line.
Yep.
And I took the whole tube of quick steel and I wrapped that. And I said that, when I got back home, I would cut the fuel line out and fix it. I Everything that car ever did with the McDonald's straw fuel line.
It's good to know that's fuel resistant.
It is, and it really, really was. It didn't even seep. It didn't even vapor off there. It was so
Nice.
Because I waited.
It's perfect.
I was nervous because I was kind of far from home. I was probably like a 20-minute drive from home on dirt roads. So I waited for probably a half hour, maybe even an hour, just sitting there pissing on my phone, Like, oh,
Right.
I get under it, and, the reaction is heat as it's curing. So in my head now I'm thinking, like, it wouldn't. Would it? No, it wouldn't. But it got hard, and I started it, and I look under, and it's not dripping. It's not wet. I feel no fuel. I smell no fuel, and I'm like, son of a bitch, this is gonna work. Yeah, man, that was my best MacGyver moment.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Well, what's your tech tip? You have a cool one here. I like this a ton.
So I did I had the industrial key, so we covered that. The other one, the last Mothman 24-hour deal, I popped that airbag, and at the time I was trying to shove a tire plug into it, and I couldn't, and like clocks tick in, and like I just said, "The hell with it, we're going." Hindsight, knowing how well it worked, like I should have dicked with that a little more.
Yeah.
But I discovered that's what I meant to grab out of my truck. It's still blown up. I shoved the tire plug into the airbag and inflated it, and it's still up.
Yeah.
That tire plug worked.
It's a great tip.
So, yeah, if you've got a blown airbag, that'll get you home for sure.
Yeah, really good tip. I like that a lot. Well, all right, well then let's get in to the doom scroll.
This is the Doom Scroll, where we find the best, the worst, and the what of Facebook Marketplace.
I'm going to click on one you have here marked The Expensive Survivor. Let's see. Oh, okay. Dude, that is
Notice
awesome.
the KOs. The original KO.
Wow.
All-terrains.
I mean, this is definitely a case of I know what I got. However, it kind of is that nice.
It's gonna bring something close to that. So anyway, we should talk about this.
Yep.
This is a 96 F-150 four-wheel drive. Is this short bed? Short box? Looks like it, and maybe.
I don't know if it's a brick or not.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Fourth picture. 351, 5-speed, 6-inch Skyjacker kit, 35s, headers, carpet, roll bar, full-size spare, KC lights, bed liner, clutch, paint, lots of extras. He wants $20,500 for it. It's been originally listed for 24. It's been on here for 5 months. It's on the original KO mud tire or all-terrain tires from BFG, which like I think they're working on 12 years out of production at the minimum.
Yeah, let's see.
It needs tires.
Can I zoom in on
the sidewalls to give away?
Yeah. This is one of those trucks where if you're looking for this, like, hey, I'm looking for a clean 95, 96, 90, whatever F-150 that's styled like this. I don't think he's insane for it. I'd have to make, like, the frame would need to be super clean,
The only thing I don't like about it is the bed bar goes above the cab. It doesn't look like it fits that truck. Like, it looks like it was meant for something else.
Yeah, it almost seems like
picture 16 is the one I'm looking at.
Yeah, it almost seems like he made that for the KCs to go over the roof, but yeah, I like it.
It's a little weird.
I mean,
he's got the light bar there too.
It's sort of boomered out a little bit, but that was also the style,
Yeah. You could unboomer this thing and make it.
Yeah, is it
really cool? Like, I don't like how that spare tire's held up like that. Like, there's changes that need to be made, but this is a clean.
It's clean.
You just don't see it.
If you drive that thing,
30-year-old truck,
right? I'm telling you right now. You put Barb in the passenger seat. You take her to Buffalo Wild Wings on a Saturday night. You're gonna make friends.
It's
that kind of truck. It's that kind of truck. The kids do not think it's cool. You are not picking up a chick in that either. You better already have Barb. All right. But
she's gonna take her teeth out.
Exactly.
That's the one you're
exactly. It's got a bench up front. All right. But no, I dig that. I like that. Let's see here. What do we have next? The family wheeler.
Family wheeler.
Ah, dude. Yeah, I saw this posted. I don't know if I said it to you or not. This is 6.
You did. I stole it from our chat.
This is a 92 Mitsubishi. What is it? Delica? Yeah, the Delica.
Oh, yeah, you might be right with Delicia or something like that. I've always heard of Delica.
Yeah. Mind you, I speak Appalachian, so it's a right-hand drive diesel 4-wheel drive van, and it is sick.
They're short wheelbase, IFS. They're basically a Toyota truck with a van body.
They're really, really cool. I've always
loved
these.
Guy on Dirt Lifestyle. He goes snow wheeling with a guy that has one of these things, and man, what a tank!
What's the power plant in one of these? What do they have? I know it's a diesel, but what is the?
I think
are they making power?
No.
Yeah.
Like like I'm making power here. I mean, like, it moves.
Yeah.
But like you're not burning any rubber.
Yeah.
I want to say they're Isuzu motors, like, which is like GM. I want to say like, no, it might be Mopar. What's that? 92. That's when Chrysler and Mitsubishi were like making weird stepchild vehicles.
Yeah.
So
check out the 4-wheel drive Select.
Crap.
That thing is sick,
I just
dude.
clicked off of it.
The thing is really cool.
Yeah, I was looking at it all. It's really cool.
I love that. Yeah, that would make a really, really fun. So they won $13,000 for this thing. It does have you know what? Has 130,000 miles on it, which for a diesel.
Is that miles or kilometers?
So it's got 211,000 kilometers, so 130-ish thousand miles. Yeah, that thing's pretty sick, man. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's got some wear, but like, it's a 92. It's 34-year-old vehicle.
You'd have a lot of fun in that, and you're the coolest guy on the trip.
Yeah,
you're making friends.
And if you ever get in an accident, you'll be the first one there. That's a cab over.
Yep. We got the 24-hour. If you guys are listening to it on the way home right now, You just competed. As we're recording this, it's Friday night. You guys are hopefully sleeping.
Saturday
Yeah,
morning. It's almost one.
yeah,
It's
almost
1:45.
So top three. Do I know who's running? We got a lot of camo guys in it.
Yeah.
Man, top three, dude. I don't know.
You've been doing this like every rally since we've been doing the podcast. That like this is who's going to do it. So I figured I'd keep it going.
I know, and
see,
I honestly got nothing for this one. I think that competition for this one is the tightest it will be.
I would agree with
I'm
that.
going to make a prediction that at the finish, the first 10 through will be within 25 minutes of each other. Is my prediction.
Wow.
I think it's going to be like that.
That's tight.
I truly think, and gosh, I feel like a jerk right now. I can't think of his name, but he's got those sweet XJ. He just recently got active in the Discord. I think he's going to be a real player.
He's going to be a weapon. That's a nice XJ.
It's so sweet. It's really, he's put a lot of work into it. I'm pretty sure he's got a TikTok that he's kept pretty up to date on that, if I'm not mistaken. But it's cool, and I hope that he does really well. I see him doing well.
Is Ross running?
I don't know.
I don't think he is.
I think he's traveling. But I just think that this season is going to be different in the sense that the rules make it safer and competition tighter. And I think that there's been 2 years of people learning and really engaging in it. And I see like the timing being crazy when people are coming through it at the end. I think it's going to be really cool. I hope so. There is one large variable, and I don't know I haven't asked yet, so I don't know what's going to happen. But I know that the crossings are going to be pretty deep. There's been a considerable amount of rain.
There's been a ton of rain.
I don't know if he's planning on changing the routes. I hope he doesn't. Truthfully, I think that Overland is Overland, and it's like the Camel Trophy. You got to do it. You figure it out.
Yeah.
Or go around it and take the time penalty. You know what I mean? But I think there's going to be some cool video and media coming out of it, so I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah.
I have really major FOMO. It's funny because the closer and closer the event came, it's not that I didn't want to be there. It's just like my focus. I really want to run Kentucky and Ohio. But I miss everyone really bad.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling pretty sad. So hopefully you guys had a blast. Hopefully nobody hydrolocked their trucks. Hopefully everyone got home safe and finished safe. But yeah, that's my prediction for the finish. I think the finish is going to be really tight with top 10.
Yeah.
You have some cool things going on, Aaron. Beside you is like a intake manifold. There's another truck behind you. What's going on?
That's the motor out of RIP. And I would tell you I removed the motor, but it was probably closer to an archaeological dig. This thing is crusty, dude. Like, and it's funny. The guy told me, he's like, the frame on this thing's good. My wife just hit a tree and rolled it. Like, it's not that bad. It's that bad. The motor mounts are bent. The radiator was twisted. And then I noticed the fan blades hit the radiator, and I was going to use that radiator, but I'm not now. But like, the motor's out. So tomorrow I would like to push this out. I'm going to part this thing out eventually, but like, I need to get my truck back so it can go be a yard ornament for a minute. I want to do a video. Like, this is essentially a junkyard motor, what you would get from a junkyard. Like, you're not going to run any tests on it, whatever. It's got 197,000 on it. So I'm going to do a video on like, this is what you should do when you get a junkyard motor. know, and it's going to be pop the oil pan off, which I have to do anyway because I want to put the turbo drain on it because I am going to abuse this. But like, even if I wasn't doing that, I'd pop the oil pan off because there's a ton of sludge that will lay in the bottom of the oil pan. If anybody's had the oil pan off and they use silicone, that stuff will break off and clog the oil pickup. You don't know what's on that.
Yeah,
You have no idea.
right.
So like, I'm going to check that. I want to pull the valve cover off. Same thing. I want to see for sludge, but like
Check
these
the
things are
rod
supposed to get
bearings
valve
out.
services. Yeah, I'm just going to kind of look in it. Like I tell you, I don't care, but like I do kind of care a little bit. Like I don't want to put this thing in and it be rod knocking in 5 miles.
Right.
If I like, I want to know now. It's a lot of work to put this thing in.
Yeah.
But like I got to order parts. I need the flywheel bolts are torque to yield, so they're one-time use, and there's 10 of them.
Go figure. I'm sure those are super cheap too.
$4 a piece.
Yeah, go figure.
Yeah, and I need 2 sets because like this motor is going to come out at some point this year, and the motor that's the other motor, the first one here, that one's going to get built, and the flywheel and everything's going to have to go to that. So I'm probably ordering 3 sets because at some point I'm going to change another flywheel and like I'm going to have them.
Yeah.
So save on shipping. I need that. I need a clutch alignment tool. I did a clutch at some point in time. Don't know where my tool is, so I got to pick that up. And I can't remember. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I need something else. Oh, I want to put the adapter in the oil filter thing so that when I put the turbo on, I just uncap stuff. Like it's a bolt on. I want to be able to pull the manifold, drop the exhaust out from under it, and like put the turbo on, make a heater downpipe, remind the neighbors who's living beside them, and go get an exhaust bill.
Right.
But I left it as an assembly, so hopefully it'll go in with like minimal stuff.
Right.
You know, like all the hoses are still there for the most part.
And you don't have to mess with
the
auto
wire-
trans BS either, which makes life a lot easier right now.
Dude, let me tell you what, the automatic trans in this thing, the bell housing is so big to hold the torque converter compared to the manual trans, like nightmare. And then they ran the harness behind the EGR pipe.
Oh.
So it like locked it in. I was trying to keep the harness together because somebody needs a harness.
Yeah, right.
But like my old school junkyard aggravation came out and like we sacrificed the harness. Yeah. Because I don't, EGR, it's exhaust. You touch it, this thing's crusty. It could fall apart.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to, I'm trying to limit issues.
Right.
But next week, I don't have a lot going on. I'm hoping my Tacoma makes noise towards the end of next week.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm excited for that for sure. No, I think that's going to be exciting. I'm excited to watch.
There'll be back
I'm excited
stock.
to watch the motor go in. Myself and everyone else. I think we're going to bug you about going live to put the motor in because I'm excited to watch that.
Yeah. I didn't go live pulling this one because it was such a dig. It took me like 2 6-hour days. I was pulling torque converter bolts with that long extension I've got. I had that with another one stacked on. I was out the front bumper. Like it sucked.
Yeah, I don't envy you for that one at all.
Yeah,
I'm excited. I'm excited for the Silver Beast to have its temporary heart transplant. It's gonna be fun. I will have pretty much, God willing, I'll have nothing to do tomorrow. Just making sure that my son's head is still together. Or I'll have a lot to do tomorrow, and I'll be at the hospital sewing my son's head together. So we'll see. But yeah, if you're wrenching tomorrow, I'll be. I'd like to just physically be there. Unfortunately, I have.
Yeah,
but
I need help. It would be nice. I think I'm going to record tomorrow just because like I want to edit this, and it's going to be like the way you put that video together is going to be segments.
Yeah.
A live is going to be an hour of me just like, so I want to do the video with that, but putting the motor in, maybe once I get the bell housing bolts in at that point, there'd be a lot less cuss words and I'll probably go live at that point.
For sure.
So,
well, I'm excited for it. I think think we probably should wrap. I think we've talked everyone's ears off for like 2.5 hours now.
Yeah, it's getting late.
Well, that is your vehicle EDC. I want to know what you carry on an everyday basis. Are you a real simple everyday guy, or do you load your pockets up and have all the cool gadgets? So let us know. Remember, I'm going to send this to somebody. I actually have one that's unopened that I'll send to you. So make sure you hop in the comments first to that. Get yourself a nice OBD2 reader. And until next time, guys, keep shiny side up, muddy side down. 24-hour guys. I can't wait to hear about it. I got a lot of fun. Thank you. Yeah, see you next week.
See ya.